Hi everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. And as of the airing of this video, this is my 200th video since I started the channel. Thank you very much for everybody who has watched, who has commented, who has liked, who has subscribed. I really appreciate you, and I hope to be able to do this for a little while yet. Not gonna give it up yet. Anyway, today is all about the top 10. This week's top 10 that Alan has set for the challenge is 10 books I can't believe I have, the positive version. I say the positive version because there will be a negative version in terms of silly books next week, as in I can't believe I bought that. So that is next week's problem. This week, it's the books that are good. And some of these books I've shown before, but honestly, they qualify under this top 10 list, so I'm going to go ahead. Here's one that is new, though. Ever since Jenny Sparks came back with her current mini-series, I guess it's 7 issues now, it was originally supposed to be 6, I was reminded of how much I loved the character. I can't believe that it took me 7 months to finally get her first appearance here in Stormwatch 37. Jenny's one of my favorite, I don't want to use the term second tier, but we'll say non-series characters. And I want to read more and see more of her in the future. To me, she's like a male version of Constantine, who I also really like. So it's kind of great that she's around. Anyways, I can't believe it took me 6 months to get this book. I had it stolen out of my cart 3 times in my comic shop, and I was finally able to get this from a local guy. Thank you, Comic Detective. Next up is a book that I can't believe I got it, because it was the first time in my entire life I spent more than $100 on a book. That book, and this was early after I started buying books again. This became my first major, I consider it a major purchase, and it's certainly a major key. This is All-Star Comics 58, the first appearance of Powergirl. Next up is another book I can't believe that I have. Not that I didn't think I'd have it at some point, but it's just because of certain areas that I've been concentrating on. This one is not an area that I've concentrated on as much. And then it was sent to me by my friend Nate at Haul Yeah Comics. This is Action Comics 293. He sent this to me as an AOK. This is the secret origin of Supergirl's horse, of Comet the Horse. And this is awesome because I think that any of the Super Pets, the Legion of Super Pets in particular, where they were, like, it's great to have any book that involves them. Thank you, Nate. The next one falls into the category of I can't believe I was able to get this because I thought I'd never be able to afford a copy. And this was Batman 189, the first appearance of the Scarecrow. I was able to get this for $50. I thought this would be in my mind, I was always seeing it as a, mid $250 to $300 book. Well, granted, it's not the greatest condition, and that's why I was able to get it so cheap. But it was a book I never thought I would own. The first silver age appearance of the Scarecrow. Next up is a book that it's not that I own it, it's what it represented. This is Adventure Comics 327. It's the first appearance of Timberwolf, known as Lone Wolf in the issue, but more importantly, it was the first, I finally was able to, after years and years, finish my run of the Legion and Adventure from issues 300 to 380. I've been wanting that since day one of reading comics when I was 5 years old, because I just absolutely loved the Legion right from day one. So having this book, I had read the story. It's not like, I mean, I've have collections of the Legion. I've read them all. It's just a case of finally getting my hands on that last copy of book, and I got it from, and I was so happy to do it. Next one is the most that I've ever spent on a book. What I like about it was that once I got it, it was even better than I expected. This is DC Comics Presents 47. Now, after conversion and shipping, I paid just under 180 Canadian dollars for this. So it's probably the most I've spent on any book as well. But what I loved was that my comic shop, who said I bought it from, had this listed at a 6.5, and once I go through, it's at least a good grade higher. I am very, very pleased with what I got. It's the first appearance of He-Man in comics. I've been a big He-Man fan my entire life. I've watched almost all the cartoons. I've watched the movies, and looking forward to the new movie coming out. So that there is another one. Another one that I never thought I would own is coming up here. And the reason I didn't think I'd own it is because of the series it's part of. It's probably my fourth or fifth one that I want to finish. So it's pretty low on the totem pole in that sense, because I've got some other series I want to finish first. And this here is Conan 23. First appearance of Red Sonja. I am trying to get the Conan run, and I've probably given up on having this issue 43, which is the first appearance of another major character I can't think of, and number 1. So when I had an opportunity to buy this at $40 off, I paid $140 for this. I was very, very happy to get it. Also, it's another book that's in better shape than I expected. The guy told me he thought it was about a 6 to 6.5. It's easily an 8 when I went through it. It's like brilliantly cut. The pages are a little whiter than I expected. The interior pages are beautifully centered and all those types of things. It's just an amazing book quality on top of everything else. And I can't believe that I got that in that condition. Next up is Action Comics 340, which you guys have seen me show many times because I'm a big Parasite fan. However, this was the most expensive book probably in the Action Comics run after issue 300. And I honestly thought this would be the last one I would end up getting, but it turns out not to be. I still need 7 between 300 and today, but this isn't one of them. I was so pleased to get it. It's such a beautiful Kurt Swan cover. It's got go-go checks that we all know is awesome, and I got this for a steal compared to what it could have been. I paid $80 American for this plus shipping. Again, from... So I was very, very happy to get this. Next up is one from a personal level. I can't believe I got it after years of searching. Again, having this taken out of my my box, my cart many times, and having it taken, not being able to find it in person for years. I was so pleased when I finally got a copy of Adventure 332, the giant Moby Dick of space. And I know I've shown this before, but I don't care. It's always going to be one of my favorites. When I was a kid, Lightning Lad was one of my favorite characters. And so his tragedies and triumphs were ones that I shared as I read them. That he lost his arm in this so soon after coming back to life after being dead, that was sad. In the issue 351, when he gets back his real arm, it's really cool. Which is another one I would have shown, except there's another book that decided to make the list. I've always wanted one. But again, I always thought the prices for this would be out of reach, and I had so much more else that I wanted to get. I ended up finally getting an EC comic, a real EC comic. This is Mad 4, and I won it in a contest, in a giveaway from Tyler at Pockets Full of Comics. This is one of the comics that was in his grandfather's collection, and I'm very, very pleased to have this book. Not only is it the Super Duper Man issue, it's just an absolute honor and treat to have a book that has so much meaning to somebody else that it's become a really big book that has meaning to me. Partly because of the legacy, but also because it's my first real EC book, and it has me wondering and looking up the prices of others and thinking, maybe I can afford one or two of these. I've always been a big fan of Mad magazine, so to have an original Mad comic book, I can't believe I have one, and I love it. So, that concludes today's top 10 for the week. If you want to join the challenge, make sure you put the hashtags in that are in my description, and tag Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, so he'll be able to watch your video if you do one. Comment and like below. Comment if you liked any of the books. Comment if you have any of the books. Comment if you don't like the books. It's all up to you. If nothing more, after 200 videos, we don't start having book discussions about the books we love and we're passionate with, we're not going to get there. Thank you very much for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed myself. My name is Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Thanks, everybody.